All right, guys. So we will get started. Like I said, I'll do 10 to 15 minutes talking about topic number one. Then we'll look at some charts, and then we will end the call with some questions. So the first thing I want to talk about is actually, I was reading this morning in Trading in the Zone, and I really prefer that book. We'll talk about topic today will be about the mindset of a consistently profitable trader. In Trading in the Zone, it says, what is the difference between a profitable trader or a professional trader compared to an amateur trader, someone who's not profitable? And it all comes down to their mindset. Let me actually read that to you guys. If I can find it, which I probably will find it because I have it underlined. So look, this is what Mark Douglas has said. I can state without a doubt that there are specific reasons why the best traders consistently outperform everyone else. If I had to distill all the reasons down to one, I would simply say that the best traders think differently from the rest. A lot of you guys have it wrong. You guys think that the best traders have this high accuracy, that they know what price action is going to do, that they know that price will reject cleanly off this level, or they can catch every trade, but that's not true. A lot of the seven-figure traders I have studied, and I study traders that are actually legit. You guys follow, some of you guys be following these Instagram gurus who don't know what they're doing, spreading all these false information. And that is the wrong information. You want to follow legit people, people who have the results you want, people who are seven-figure funded, not seven-figure funded, seven-figure traders, real seven-figure traders, not these Instagram gurus who make money off their signal chats. So going back, it all comes down to the mindset. Consistently profitable traders do not have this crazy high accuracy. That is a fallacy. You should not believe that. All you need in trading is very simple. You need to make it as simple as possible. And I also had someone mention this to me. Let's see if I can find it. Oh yeah, so someone told me this. After many years, you realize that the simple things are the most effective, and the real work is in the mind, not in the strategy. And that is 100% true. Let me keep adding people. So I'll talk about three things of the mindset of a profitable trader, of a consistently profitable trader. And the first thing is the most important thing, and this is something that's outside of trading. You need to work on your psyche. You need to work on your psyche. What do I mean by that? Some of you guys do have it down. Some of you guys, your psyche, your mindset is all it's good. Meaning that if you tell yourself, tomorrow I'm gonna wake up early in the morning, I'm gonna hit the gym, or I'm gonna read a book, or whatever plans you have for tomorrow, you tell yourself that you are going to follow it. You know you are going to follow it. But some of you guys, if you have something set for tomorrow, you telling yourself, all right, tomorrow's the day. I'm gonna wake up early. I'm gonna do everything I'm gonna do everything I have planned out. But in the back of your mind, you do know, nah, there's a chance that I might not even follow this. Why am I telling myself this? Those of you guys, though, your psyche is not, that psyche is not good. And how you develop your psyche, how you develop your mindset is that you need to develop good habits and follow them consistently. A lot of you guys do not have good habits, and it will reflect in your trading. I say this all the time. Whatever you do outside of your trading will reflect on your trading. Trading is just a reflection of yourself. If you're a disciplined person outside of trading, your trading will be disciplined because if you can't follow your daily routine, some of you guys are saying, oh, even if I don't follow my daily routine, I will follow my trading rules in trading. But no, that's not true. That does not happen. I have never seen someone with such discipline on the charts and not discipline at all outside the charts. So make sure that whatever you do outside, everything, if you guys follow me on Instagram, everything I do, it's all to develop my psyche, my mindset for when trading comes. I am a disciplined, patient person. Trading is 90% preparation. The execution part is just you execute and that's it. But 90% of trading is preparing for the trading days, preparing for making sure that your system is rational, making sure that your system makes sense, because trading is not just about having a mathematical edge. You need to also have the psychological edge, knowing that you will follow your rules, because a lot of you guys do not follow your rules. And that used to be me as well. I used to see a very clean trade setup, the best trade setup, and I'll be like, oh, I'm risking more. I'm definitely risking more. I'm deviating from my system. And that will, maybe you might end up hitting profit, TP, but in the long term, it will catch up to you. So number one was you need to develop that proper psyche, develop good habits, follow it consistently. And through that, you will gain discipline. The way I did it, like I mentioned many times, is I never had any running experience. I didn't hit the gym. I didn't do nothing. I told myself, I watched the Joe Rogan podcast on this lady named Courtney DeWalter. You guys should watch it. I'll put in the chat. That's what got me into running. It was pretty amazing. And Tatsuyu, oh my God, sorry if I say your name. And Tatsuya, you gotta tell me. You gotta message me on IG and tell me how to say your name. But you should watch this one since I know you are in this running field. This is a good podcast. That's what got me into running with Joe Rogan. But yeah, so I trained for a marathon, and that consistency, that discipline, the times when after my 12-hour shift in work, I would head to the gym at 11 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, I'm saying Eastern time, 11 p.m. and hit the gym and come home late at 12 a.m. to wake up again at 6 a.m. That discipline and consistency 100% reflected on my trading. So make sure, guys, your psyche, you need to work on your psyche outside of trading. You cannot be a great trader if your psyche is not fit. If you look at all the great traders, they always say the psychology, their psyche, their mindset is one of the most important aspect in being profitable in trading. Yeah, I said Eastern time because I always say that in my weekly outlook calls. So number two, let's see. Number two is you need to be robotic, systematic, meaning you need to make sure that, like I said before, trading is 90% preparation. You need to make sure you have a system with your mathematical edge. And I'll go over mine, which I have gone over in the course. But a lot of you guys, so for me, the reason why I have a set 1 to 2 risk to reward is because I like to have it all. Like the moment I enter a trade, I don't have to think anymore. And I was reading this new book that I just got, this one, The Mental Game of Trading, which a lot of people recommended. So I was reading this, and here's one thing that I read. Emotions have the power to reduce and even shut down your decision-making process entirely. So I'll read it again. Emotions have the power to reduce and even shut down your decision-making process entirely. So when you enter a trade, right, obviously your emotions come in. Now your emotions are in play. This book is basically saying that when you have emotions, you don't have the ability to make decisions. So that's why, and that makes complete sense with my strict 1 to 2 risk to reward. A lot of you guys like to take partials, but how are you guys taking partials when you're in a trade? You're emotional. You see your price going up and down. That's not your best version of yourself. That's not the best version to be making decisions, big decisions about your money. Those decisions should be with no emotions before your trade. So that's why I never understood the concept of taking partials, because when you're in a trade, you're emotional. You can't really make correct decisions. And for you to just be taking partials at certain levels, it seems I would say irrational. It seems like it doesn't lead to consistent profitability, or it might be even more stressful. That's why I highly recommend 1 to 2 risk to reward. When I am in a trade, my preparation was all done. I don't need to think when I'm in a trade. I never make decisions when I'm in a trade, unless like the only time is like when I place 1-to-1 stop loss to break even. Sometimes I might decide just place a stop loss above the high if it rejected. But that's literally the only decision that comes into that's the only decision that I have when I'm in a trade. Besides that, no, you cannot make decisions when you have emotions. So that's a very important concept. You have to be robotic, systematic. You follow your system to the T. You do not deviate from your system. You do not deviate from your system. That is so important. But a lot of you guys, your psyche is not in play. Going back to number one, you don't have that correct psyche. When you do lose, you will end up breaking your system. When you see such a great trade setup, you will end up leveraging more. You might over leverage. So understand those two things are very important. And the last thing is, the most important thing is a probabilistic mindset. That's the difference between trading and gambling. A lot of you guys, 90% of people, they gamble. They do not trade properly. They do not think on a series of trades. They think on a trade by trade basis. They think price will come to this level, reject off cleanly. Let me risk more. And let me show you guys what, I was working on my ebook. But last week, I don't know if you guys saw it. I posted on my stories I posted on my story. It was up for like 6 hours until the guy messaged me. This guy literally took one of my work in Telegram, The Winter is Coming, that I had. It was like a page of like my experience talking about it. And this guy took it and he put it on his social media. He had like 100K followers on Instagram. He had a big LinkedIn followers, and he literally copied and pasted exact every single word. And after that, I was thinking, oh wait, if I send my ebook to the Discord, it might get leaked, and then somebody else might take my work. So I'm gonna wait to publish the ebook before I send it out to you guys. So going back to the probabilistic mindset, I'll show you guys a draft that I was talking about this. Let's see. So like I said, a lot of you guys think that trading is gambling when in fact it is not, but majority of people do gamble. They do not trade. That's why it has that stigma. The professional knows that as long as he followed his rules, regardless if he won or lost, he had a good day. You guys need to understand this. You guys need to master the art of losing. Just because you lost one day doesn't mean that you should be sad. Doesn't mean that you had a bad day. If you followed your rules, you had a good day. So the professionals, they look at the results of a trade from a trade. They do not look at it from a trade by trade basis. They look at it by zooming out and seeing it as a series of trades. So I'll give you an example. First off, let me check if anybody is in the waiting room. No. So I'll give you an example. Actually, I'll show the example when I'm marking up the charts. So for example, looking at this system. Okay, say you risk 1% just to make it easier, and you're aiming for a 1 or 2 risk to reward per trade idea. Per trade idea, and I need you guys to understand per trade idea, not you risking 1%, price goes down, you enter another trade. That's not per trade idea. So say, for example, out of 10 trades, you only win 5, you will still be up 5%. If you only win 5 out of 10 trades, 50%, and that's pretty, oh shoot, that is pretty realistic if you think about it. 5 out of 10 is not too bad. But say, for example, that you lose 7 out of 10 trades. 7 out of 10 trades, that's 2, 4, 6. You're only down negative 1%. If you lose 7 out of 10 trades, you are only, and this is like the worst case scenario. So people ask me, how you trade with such confidence? Because I know that even if I lose 7 out of 10 trades, if I win 3 trades out of 10, I always look at it as from a series of trades. Never, oh, I had a good day today. No, I think in the long term, I zoom out. I'm only down 1%. How crazy is that? Like literally, it's so simple, but you guys keep deviating from your system. You guys don't follow it. You're not disciplined. You don't have the psyche to follow your system. Trading is simple, but it's just our behavior. Our human behavior makes it complicated, makes it so difficult. So please, that's why you want to break it down to its simplest form. That's why my system is so simple. A lot of you guys think in trading there's some holy grail, or the more complicated your strategy is, the more profitable you are. But that is not true. The more simpler, the less hectic you make it, the better, the more consistent you can be in the long term. So yeah, this is like the worst case scenario. If I lose my next 7 trades and I win 3 trades out of 10, I am down negative 1%. And that is literally crazy. That is literally crazy. As long as I don't do any stupid mistakes, as long as I don't revenge trade, overtrade, which my system prevents me from doing, I'll be fine in the long term. Why am I worrying? I should be trading with confidence. The only problem is I do need to stay patient. And it is much easier for me to stay patient with my bigger account sizes. But as you guys, that's why I always say it takes time to be profitable in trading. But as you guys instill this type of mindset, as you guys keep building your accounts and eventually get to a point where you have an account where making 1 to 3% every month is a good, decent amount of money, then you will see how simple trading should be, how simple trading is. And a great exercise that I do is I get a coin, I flip it 10 times. Just a reminder, this is something you guys should be doing every day. Get a coin, flip it 10 times. If it lands on heads, add 2. If it lands on tails, -1. And most likely you will be profitable, because we know that the accuracy is around 50%. So at the end of the 10th flip, you will likely be profitable. And that's the same way you should look at your trading, because if you're up, say for example, heads +2, that's basically you won a trade. Tails -1, that's basically you lost a trade. So that's how it relates to each other. You guys need to do this exercise every day to remind you, think in the long term. Usually out of 10 trades, I will be profitable. And even if I lose 7 out of 10, or even if my accuracy is 30% out of 10, I lose what, max -1%. What is that? And that's risking, oh, that's risking 1%. You guys see how simple this is? But the thing is, you guys want to make it complicated. You guys are impatient. You guys are trying to make your entire trading career in 1 week, 1 month, when you guys should be thinking in the long term, thinking 6 months, a year. There was a quote that Bill Gates said. He said, we overestimate what we can do in 1 year, but we underestimate what we can do in a decade. So if you guys can just think long term, try to develop that patience, you can eventually be a consistently profitable trader and be full-time. So that was number 3, probabilistic mindset. And going back, just the 3 main key concepts of a consistently profitable trader, a mindset of a consistently profitable trader. Number 1, they have the correct psyche. They have the right mindset. Number 2 is they have a robotic, systematic approach. And number 3 is they have a probabilistic mindset. So that's it for this lesson. Now I'll be going over some charts, and then after the charts, you guys can ask me any questions. So let me share my screen. Last week NFP was crazy. I don't know if anyone who traded in NFP would be profitable. Price is going up, down, up, down. People's stop losses would have been hit. So let me see, Zoom. Share screen. All right, so what I was looking at for DXY, actually, let's look at EU. So you guys do know that I like to correlate my pairs. On EU, on the higher time frame, what we do see is that price has shown some type of rejection off this higher time frame resistance area. Let's look at the 4-hour. See, we can see some type of breaker structure in here. We see that on the 4-hour, we see a breaker in here. We see that on a daily, we do have this fair value gap that was filled in. We see that these highs were taken out. And we did see a rejection off that area. So as of right now, I do want to stay bearish on EU, respecting this 4-hour order block. Unless we break this high, then I'll be bullish. On the 1-hour. So on the 1-hour, as we can see here, so we see this potential equal highs. If you guys watched my favorite setup video, you see that equal highs get taken back to an order block following the higher time frame trend, or IOF, basically the same thing. So this is something potentially I'm looking at for this week. Equal highs taken. If EU is bearish, price should reject off this level. So I will be watching this trade. The problem is that this trade is already almost at entry. So do I trade London session on a Sunday, which I usually don't, but previously in my past experiences, price has played out during Sunday, and I have missed a couple of moves. So I will be watching this during London session. If price escapes our entry and does come to the downside, at that point, I'll be looking in New York session for some OTE or retracements, because we do know that in New York session, it is prime time for retracements, meaning retracements are high probability trade setups during New York session. And during London session, we like to see liquidity grabs. So I am bearish on EU. GU is doing its own thing. Like, a lot of you guys ask me, how do you know which pair to trade? Well, first off, do you see anything on GU? Anything clean? No, we don't. 4-hour, nothing. We don't see any type of resistance area we can sell at. This is how I pick out my trade setups. EU, we can see a very clean order block, a fair value gap being filled in, a nice retracement level. GU, we don't see anything. DXY, so DXY has somewhat broken structure. I want to see us reject off this level. And if we don't reject off this level and we do come to this downside, then we would have to shift our perspective. Like I said, in trading, we're not trying to figure out what exactly price is going to do in the future. We're just basically trying to determine where will price reject, what levels will price reject from. And Mark Douglas said it. Mark Douglas has said it. Technical analysis is not there to predict prices. It's literally there to have the odds of success in our favor. So what do I mean by this? So let's see on GU. On GU, I took this trade on, it it wasn't a high probability trade setup. So I took on my aggressive account. I was looking at this area, this 15-minute order block with a 1 hour breaker block, with a 1 hour order block. And on the 4 hour, we had some type of 4 hour order block. And I was bearish on EU because of the liquidity. So I was correlating the pairs as well. You guys probably have seen the video already, but I was correlating the pairs, and I had the bias that I was bearish on EU, GU, and AU. And what did price do? Price rejected off that level. So now looking at EU, this is somewhat a similar trade setup. Price is coming back to an order block, retracing back to that level. And sometimes, even if the price action is very, very clean, sometimes it doesn't play out because anything can happen in trading. Anything can happen. If you have the mindset that you think that there's an algo for this and that you have a 90% accuracy, that is a fallacy. That does not exist. Because if you have a 90% accuracy consistently, you will be a hedge fund billionaire by now. So don't trust what you see online. So if this trade doesn't even play out, but GU, I'm up 2%, EU, if this trade doesn't play out, then I'll lose 1%, but I'm still up 1%. And if I see another trade setup, the same exact setup, and that hits TP, say for example, 2 out of 3 trade setups hit TP, I will still be profitable. So the technical analysis is not there to tell you what exactly price will do. It's there to put the odds of success in your favor over a series of trades. We got to think long term. We got to look over a series of trades, which I like to be around. The number I use is 10 trades, just because it's very simple. 5 out of 10 trades I need to win. So this is what I'm looking at for EU. GU, like I said, nothing clean. Gold I don't trade. I just use it to correlate with EU. AUD, USD, what do we see? Nothing really clean on AUD, USD. So for now, I will be watching EU for our breaker block, higher time frame, resistance, 1 hour fair value gap being filled into a retracement, taking out these highs. And if price does come above these highs, then I will have to reevaluate and see if I want to change my perspective and if this wants to be a turtle soup or liquidity grab. So that's it for this technical analysis. And I'll update you guys on the Discord tomorrow during London or New York session. So if you guys have any questions, I'm here to answer. Like I've had Daniel Savage following me. I've had a lot of these Forex gurus with Lambos following me, hitting me up, doing about like some sponsorship deal. But I'm not promoting no broker that I don't use. I'm not promoting anything that I don't use or that I don't think is beneficial to my followers. So a lot of them be hitting me up, but I just ignore them. And then ICT shouted me out, and I was like, oh, wow, that is pretty cool. I would say that was like, out of all the people who have followed me, the ICT shout out was a big thing. So that was a pretty cool react. That was pretty cool. How long have you wanted to be a public figure? I mean, how long have you wanted to be a public figure? I was just doing this originally started for the money. But now I'm just trying to share like the mindset like I want to share how to actually trade, because a lot of the things I be seeing online is just straight BS. A lot of the things I see online is just people trying to sell something, trying to put the wrong things. That's why 95% of people fail in this industry, is because I feel like the majority of the things I see online is like straight like horrible advice. Like you don't see these advice being said by 7-figure traders, only by these traders who are trying to provide hope or motivation so people will buy their stuff. We'll end the call in 5 minutes since it is around 11:30. Any other questions? Yeah, master the art of losing. Every time I lose, I tell myself, this is trading. Everyone loses. The 7-figure traders loses. I need to accept that I just lost today. And I know that I will be fine in the long term. So don't take this loss personal. It's all part of the game. And one thing, and the mindset I have is, I come into every week with, if I have a 50% accuracy, I will be fine. Meaning if I lose 2 trades but win 2 trades, I'll still be profitable, because if I risk 1%, I'm up 2%. Just by losing 2 trades and winning 2 trades, I am up 2%. I'm up 2% on a 400K account. How much is that? So you guys see, if you come with that mindset, okay, I just need to win 50% of my trades this week. I don't need every trade to hit. I know I will have losses. I know I will have wins. But as long as I do hit this somewhat goal of 50%, I'll be fine. And which I usually do hit my goal of 50%. So that's the mindset I come into trading. I don't come into trading thinking I'm gonna have this good accuracy. I come to trading 50% accuracy is all I want. How's the Wim Hof training going? So week 1 starts next week because I did buy the course on Friday. And then I was thinking this wouldn't be week 1 because it's Friday. So I'm starting week 1 on Monday. Hopefully, so Wim Hof training is basically like a meditation type of thing. Because in trading, if you can control your mind, if you can control your emotions, you'll be, that's a very great advantage in trading. So I'm trying to instill meditation, to be able to control my mind, to be able to be in flow. Like in Trading the Zone, they mentioned in the zone. So if I can be in the zone, that will be very beneficial to my trading. Power speech and some red folder news. So FOMC, I don't usually trade that day, but other red folder news, that is not like CPI or like the major ones, I'll trade a couple of hours before, but I wouldn't stay in the trade during the red folder news. Just the big red folder news, you gotta be careful for. So I'll end the call in around 3 minutes. If you guys have any other questions, I'm here to answer. We'll have this call every Sunday. Hopefully we get more people on. And let's see, I'll end the call in 2 minutes. So any last questions, I'm here to answer. Do not be shy. I'll answer any questions. If you guys can write in the chat, like what exactly is your current situation right now? Are you doing a 10K challenge? Are you doing a 50K challenge? That way I can try to give you guys lessons related to that. 100K challenge, okay. Let's see 100K. Ryan, because on the higher time frame, I do see that resistance area, so I don't want to stay bearish on EU. But like I said, if EU breaks that high, then I'll change my bias. Every week your bias will change because sometimes price does something crazy where it breaks structure. You're like, okay, now I'm bullish. Okay, now I'm bearish. But if price rejects off that level, that's what I'll be looking for. 100K, 100K. A lot of you guys are 100K already, 20 funded, 20K challenge. You're gonna use 200K XTMO and 300K MFF. So guys, like, I don't know. I get so many messages, even though I mentioned this in the course on your first funded account. I get so many messages, people blowing their accounts. Like it's a very low percentage of people who actually get the account and hit their first withdrawals. So do not be greedy. Do not start risking 1%. If you see a very clean trade setup and you've seen, in the past, this has hit TP all the time, don't go in risking 1% or 2% on that trade idea, because on top of it being a new funded account, on top of it, you're first time trading with a funded account and you see a very clean setup, and then you're over leveraging on top, you're full of emotions. You will make some stupid mistake, which will lead to you self-sabotaging that account. So guys, stay patient, risk less. Your goal is to build your capital, build your empire. Just lost my 100K funded account. It's so common for people to lose their funded accounts just because the moment they get it, their trading psychology goes out of whack and they're greedy and they're impatient. You guys gotta stay patient. 0.5%. Build that buffer, that cushion. That's the first thing you should work on. Risking less to build that buffer and cushion. Because once you have in the mind, okay, the worst thing that can happen is I'll lose my buffer. That's a very good mindset to be in. That's the best position to be in. Your trading will be best when you have no pressure. So if you're in that position, you are perfectly fine. Whereas if you just got the funded account and here you are risking big, then you are heading to failure that way. 5 days before my first payout on my 20K funded account. Oh, nice job. I'm up 2%, risking 0.5%. Good job. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. How do you organize the account to trade copy? One set of aggressive, one set of conservative. So in trade copy, you can actually pick a master account, and then you can pick 0.5% risk, or you can pick half the risk based on the balance. For me, it varies. Going to 2022 was a very disorganized year for me. I had conservative accounts, funded accounts, aggressive accounts, and then I would build a buffer, and then I would change my conservative to an aggressive just because I just withdrew a big profit. So, but 2023, I'm gonna have a conservative account and aggressive account. I'm gonna be much more organized. All right, guys. So one last question and I'm done, and I'll catch you guys next Sunday. I'll try to organize some type of casual call where we all can have our mics on, our video on sometime this week. Thanks ADZ. So if you guys have any other questions, if that's all, then I'll catch you guys next week. Let's have a great trading week. Let's follow our system and let's do it, guys. Let's have a great 2023. Catch you guys next time. Cheers.